rise over run. If I'm looking at a straight line like this, there's no curves to it, and if I draw this over here and this over here, what is this called? It's called the run. And this, because you're going up, is called the rise. Now, you guys get mixed up with the y's and the x's. But this is the change in the y values. You're going to go from this y coordinate to that y coordinate. And this is going to be, the other one, is going to be the change in the x coordinates. You're going to start at this x, x's go horizontal, and go over to this x. And that's what slope is. There's a formula. Hey, Andrew, do you know what the formula is for slope? The symbol is m for monte, French, and that's equal to, does anybody know what it is? y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. Order matters because it's subtraction. If it had been addition, it wouldn't have made any difference. You could also write it, if you prefer. You can do a different order, but then you got to be consistent. Or m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And you have to have, these guys have to match. If it's y2 in the numerator, it's x2 in the denominator. They are an ordered pair. That's a pair. So the pairs would look like this. x1, y1, and x2, y2. So you should hopefully notice that these match. These are called subscripts. So what about here? I have y1 with x1. Okay? Doesn't matter which y value you start with. You have to start someplace. I start with the y's. I don't really care. So that's what slope is. That's the slope formula. So now we're going to use the Inspire calculator to plot these following ordered pairs and find the slope between them. Now, I would like you to do the slope formula, and maybe we could do that first, but it's kind of abstract until I see the picture. And what I discovered was that you had a hard time plotting the points in the right place. And of course, if you don't plot the points in the right place, you get the wrong answer. So you're done before you even do anything. And that's very frustrating, to have the wrong answer and have some idea what you're doing. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to bring up my calculator because it's here. You guys are going to go into the understanding slope application, if you would like to call it that. Now, so you're going to go into, if you don't know where it is, you're going to press the home key, I call it the house key, and you want to go into My Documents, and mine's in a different place. Okay, yours is in the sample class. So make sure if you don't know how, if you can't find it, that's okay. We're not gonna communicate, so we're just gonna escape. And escape gets us out of everything. Anytime you get in trouble on the calculator, press escape key. Pretty much gets you out of trouble. Do you have the understanding slope document open? It doesn't matter. Just escape. I'm not gonna use the navigator until I figure out what the problem is. So you're gonna go into My Documents, right? And it's in the sample class, because that's where I sent it. I have to learn a few more things. Did you get it, Adine? Yeah, you got it.
Wait, where is it?
It's in the sample class. So you got to press the home key. Go to. It should be there someplace. We may need different calculators. Press 2. But I only sent it to you guys once. Oh, that's going to be a problem. It's only day 1. How can this be? Okay, if you don't find the understanding slope, I can link I can link up a calculator and get that to you. No. And since it's not communicating, I got issues with that too. But it only takes a second to do this. Yes, because you know what I realized? We put it only on somebody's calculators. We could be here all day.
You know, I'll calculate kind of which one. So, instead,
Okay, there's a number of things I want you to do with the worksheet. First, you get your points where you're going to be. And yeah, we aren't going to get this all done in one day because the calculators are a little bit difficult to use. Okay, so I'm going to add a page. And my point was -1, 1, and it was 2, 2. Notice how I write them vertically. That helps me to keep track of which is x and which is y. I have a terrible time with that. It's just my learning disability. And some of you probably can relate to that. So we already know that the calculator told us the slope was 1/3. Let's see if we can get that answer. Whoops. And so I'm going to write the slope formula. You don't have to write it again, but it would be nice. It's y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. Now, when I do this, when I'm first starting to do this, you guys, pay attention. Anytime you substitute in for a variable, honestly, you need parentheses. Okay, Josh? And I see it all the way through the upper math classes. They don't put the parentheses in, and then they don't get the right answer. Because if you're dealing with negatives, it makes a difference. So I'm going to just get ready to do the problem. And maybe on the side, I'm going to put my parentheses here, I might put a y and an x as a reminder to me that the numerator is the y. Now, if you have trouble with it, don't feel bad, because even the geometry students are having troubles with it. There's 4 numbers. There's 4 places to put them. There's lots of combinations, lots of ways to put them in wrong. So this is how I do it. It's the safest thing for me, especially if I start getting mixed up. And then I write it up here vertically. These are the x's, and then these are the y's. I start with the y's. Now, do you want to start with 1, or do you want to start with 2? It makes no difference to me. Ryan, which one do you want to put in this first y blank? Right here, what do you want to put in there? 2. So he's using this one. Guess what? I'm going to cross it out because it's done. It's been used. Okay, Dean? Dean, what goes in the next blank? It has to be the other y value. Now you have everything is set. You have no choice. You'll make mistakes if you don't put them in the right order. Dominic, what goes in here?
1.
1. You're not Dominic, though. Slope this is what calculus, first semester calculus, is all about, is slope. It's all we do is slope. Okay, so that's what you're going to be doing with some more difficult functions later on. Okay, now, 2 is paired up with 2 or -1. Josh, which one is 2 paired up with? The 2 or the -1? The 2 is paired up with the what? The 2, right? This -1's up here. It's in a different place. So this is the ordered pair. So guess what has to go in here? 2. And then what goes in here? What's the only number left? Corey, what's the only number left? No, we used the 2, we used the 1, we used this 2, and what's left? -1. If you have to cross them out, cross them out. I don't care. Just don't obliterate it so you can't read it. Okay, so what's the slope equal to? What's 2 take away 1? Oh, I know, this is hard. What's 2 take away 1? Ryan, what is it? 1. And this is where it does get hard, because some of you are still not very good with signed numbers. I don't like double negatives. I'm going to make this adding the opposite. So what's 2 plus 1? 3. So on your paper, I want you to draw a little sketch. I think I wrote that on that handout. So we were at -1, 1 and 2, 2. Draw your little line. I don't care if you can put it in the axes. I mean, name them. It'd be nice. I don't think I did on mine. And then I want you to do the slope formula. So it's going to take some time to do this. So on letter B, let's do slope formula on B right now before we even graph it. Okay? And then I'm going to give you time to work and help you guys. Okay, so here's B. I have the ordered pairs 0, 4, and 4, 0. I like to do it this way. Now, why did I suggest that we graph them? Because I think it's easier to see what's going on if you graph these. But let's try slope formula first, just by using a formula. Put your parentheses in. I should see everybody with parentheses on their paper. This is the change in y, this is the change in x. So you need to use your pencil. I haven't had a chance to get to Target and get more. And write it down. Now you should have number A, letter A done. Nick does. Ryan, you need to have letter A done. And yeah, we'll collect the assignment. This is not something that's not going to be collected. So you haven't done letter A either. Do we need to go back and look at A? So some of you are going to have to do it again. Okay, well, not yet. Let's do the slope first. Good, Riley. So you need to put your slope in, and you need to do your slope formula. It's not an option. Well, I have my little basket, and there's not much in there for pencils. And I meant to grab some from out of my car, but I have some in it. I haven't been to Target to buy more pencils. If you guys hadn't taken my pencils, I'd have them. Okay, you need your parentheses in there, Keaton. You need your parentheses, not y equals mx plus b. It's y1 minus y2. I'll write it again. This is slope formula. We will do y equals mx plus b, but not yet. I prefer actually slope formula. Got to know it. Okay, did you write it down? No. Did you write it down? Good. Now we're going to do this one, but you might as well do that one too. Okay, we're going to go back. There are three things to do on each letter. First, draw a sketch. You guys used your calculator. So if you don't have a sketch, there it is. So write it down. That's what it looks like. Could you count, by the way? Could you have just counted from here to here on your screen? Sure. But what happens if you get to nasty numbers? And in science class, they're always nasty numbers because that's the real world. So you can't count. Okay, so you have a sketch. And then at least write down the answer off the calculator, which is 1/3. And then I want you to do this piece. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to erase that. And I'm going to do it again. Because most of you did not do this. You need to do it with me. And if anybody got it and wants to work ahead, they may do so. So m is equal to, I put parentheses in. I want to see those parentheses. Because you're going to mess up with everything with signs. Because you're going to get your negative sign mixed up with your subtraction sign. They're not the same. So you should put your parentheses in here. This is for A right here. I spread it out a little bit. Again, you haven't done A either. Okay, draw a little sketch. This is y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. I want to see this all done correctly. And we do have to go on someday, but we got to get this because this is huge. This is not a minor thing. So you need to write in y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. That's what goes in here. And you're going to have to make corrections, so you might as well just do it. So put your parentheses in, this over x1 minus x2. Just exactly what I have written here. How do you find out how far you've gone? If you were at mile marker 5 and you get to mile marker 10, how far did you go? You looked at mile marker 5 and then you went to mile marker 10. How far did you drive? How did you get that? What do you do with these two numbers to get 5? No, that'd be 15. You subtract. So to find the distance you go on the rise here, you subtract the y coordinates. To find the distance on the run, you subtract the x coordinates. That's what delta means, change. I think he's got it. You got anything written down? You need to write it down. Now you're going to put these points in, -1 and 1 and 2, 2. So you should have parentheses down here on A. Good job. And then simplify. Yeah, but that's not right.
From up there.
No, that's not at all what I have. First off, up here is y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. I don't see that. Over. You guys, exactly what I write. over x1 minus x2. Okay, so you need to write that down. I don't know why you don't want to do that. Dominic? Write what I have right here. This is the formula. Everybody should have that written on the top part of your sheet when it says, what is slope formula? You need to write it down. You have a pencil now. These are not mine. You're going to write it down? Good job. Then you put your parentheses in. And then you're going to, once you get your parentheses in, I can't go on if you got parentheses there. I'm still not seeing it. I want parentheses. This represents the number for y1. This represents the number for y2. This represents the number for x1 and the number for x2. So I'm just putting placeholders. I'm just getting it set to go, because when you put the numbers in here for y1, I got to have parentheses because I might mess up my negative signs. If the numbers are all positive, it's easy. And then you're going to have to simplify. So get your parentheses going. Yeah, but the parentheses go down in here now. Nadine, are you not going to try? No, you're not. You don't have anything written down. Okay, this is m equals. Okay, I'm noticing some things that it seems like I'm really particular, and actually I'm not. But when you do mathematics, we have to be particular, or it doesn't make sense. So some of you are here because you haven't wanted to be particular about things. You just kind of push some things around and trying to come up with the answer. It's not about that. It's about understanding what's happening in the rules of mathematics. These are rules. M equals. You can't have M without the equals. It's not correct. It doesn't make sense. That would be like going into English class and not having verbs and things like that. It doesn't make sense. If you learn a language, math is a language. Okay, Dean, what am I going to put into this one? I got you come up and do it since you're not going to write it. What do you want to put into this box right here? It makes really no difference, but you have to choose one of the y values. Which ones are the y's? We got 4. There's no top. This is x, this is y. This is x, this is y. So which one do you want to put in there? I don't care. You got 50-50? Pardon? Yeah, what number do you want to put in there? 2. You want to put 2 in here. Now, once that's determined, everything has to be in the right place. Okay, Josh? We put 2 right in here. And Josh, what's the other y coordinate? No? There's no negatives. Sorry, we have them. I have it. I'm going to rewrite it. It's positive 2, comma 2. So we put in this 2. What's the other y coordinate? What's the other y coordinate? No. It's x, y. X, y. The other y coordinate is 1. Okay, so that's part of the problem, keeping track of what things are. Okay, Adam? Now, once you get this 2, this is an ordered pair. Where's the other half of the ordered pair? What number? Adam, do you know which one it is? We've already used up these numbers. Which one goes with the 2? Yeah, 2. And now there's only one number left. What is that? Keaton, you got to write it down. What's the number that's left? Guys, this is not hard. Adine, what number's left? I crossed out this one, this one, this one. What's left? -1. These are partners. They're ordered pairs. That's the couple. That's the pair. Okay, and then you do the arithmetic, and that's questionable, but the first part is easy. 2 minus 1 is? What is it, Keaton? 1. Now, what do you do with these guys? No? 2 negatives. What happens to that? I get opposite, opposite, so that's really 2 plus 1, which is 3. We're just trying to count over. This was at 2. This was at -1. How many spaces is that? That's 3 if you count it. How many did you go up? You were at 1 and you went up to 2. It's 1 space. That's all we're doing is counting. And how do you find out how far you've traveled? You subtract. Now, this should be written down, Keaton. Everybody should have this on their paper because it's there. It's been there twice now. Nadine, what's wrong? You don't like the pencil? That's the way it is. Put the numbers in. Why aren't you not putting the numbers in? Yeah, now simplify, but yeah. Make that plus, though. This is a negative. Yeah, when you make one plus, you got to make the other one plus. So what I suggest that maybe you try to do the slope formula first, maybe. I don't know. It's what your learning style is. And then put the points on the ordered pair on the plane. And this needs to be put away because we're not using iPads right now. And we'll put them on the plane and see if you did it right. You'll know. Good job. Did you get that finished? No. You need to finish this. You have to do the arithmetic. Don't forget to draw the line. There's a line there. Okay? Are we ready to go on to the next one? Keaton, do you have it written down? And what is this? This is 1, positive 1. 2 take away 1 is 1. Plus, there's a plus sign there. Over. And 2 subtract a negative 1. Make that plus plus. Remember how we did that? Okay. I have this one ready to go. If you need to write them vertically, write them vertically. Honestly, when I look at 0, 4 and 4, 0, I get them mixed up as well. I don't know if that makes you feel any better. Dominic, this is X, this is Y. This is X, this is Y. You want to make it X1, Y1, X2, Y2, and then follow the formula, you can do that. I don't. I just look at right over here. Okay, I start with the Y's. Could you start with the X's? Keaton, could you start with the X's? Yeah, you could. Understand what we're doing? We're just going to find how far do we go over in the X's, how far do we go up on the Y's. How do you find how far you go up on the Y's? What do you do with those numbers? If you're at mile marker 0, you get to mile marker 4, how far did you go? 4. What did you do with those numbers? So simple that you don't even realize you did it. You subtracted them. So what do you want to put here? I know Riley's got it, I believe. So you have 2 choices. Which one do you want to put there, Corey? 4. Now, once you choose that, everything's determined. Everything has to be in the right place. So I'm going to cross this 4 out. There's a lot of 4s here. This is the 4 I used up. What's the other Y coordinate? Yeah. And now, who is 4 paired up with? 0. So you can see this 4, 0 pair. And then who is 0 paired up with? 4. Well, that arithmetic isn't too bad, but I do want you to reduce. So what's 4 take away nothing? Still 4, right? But what's 0 take away 4? Peyton, what's 0 take away 4? No. If I have no money in my account and I write a check for $4, I'm in trouble. I'm negative 4. We will be getting maybe into negative temperatures here. We haven't been doing that too much. One day we got into negative temperatures. If it's 0 degrees, and when you get up in the morning and it's dropped 4 degrees, you're at negative 4. Okay, guys, I put you together. I was thinking you'd work together, but it doesn't seem to be working that way, so I will separate you then. Slope is hard? It's not hard. It's just a matter of thinking about what you're doing. I'm just seeing how far up, how far down. What does this end up giving me? What's 4 divided by negative 4? Divide. Adam, what's 4 divided by negative 4? Keep going more. 4 into 4 goes how many times? 1. And what's the sign going to be? Positive or negative? Dominic, was it positive or negative? Right here. Negative. Now, I think we might have some issues graphing that. Where is 0, 4? Peyton, where is 0, 4? That's the problem. I mean, that's the reason why we're doing this on the calculator, to get you to understand the coordinate system better. The 0 means I'm going to start the origin. I'm not going to go horizontally at all. I'm just going to go up 4. So there's 0, 4. And this 4 means I'm going to go 4 on the x's, but I'm not going to go up. So there's 40. And we're going to check our work with the calculator. Also, the other thing you make mistakes on are the signs. Okay, so let's get the calculator up. And I'm going to change this point. Let's see, I want this down here on 40. There, I got that one. And I want to put this on 04. See how I can check right now? There it is. 0440, slope's -1. Notice how they actually write the same numbers out that we have, and then they simplify it. And let's see if I can figure out where this is. And I can put this into my little document. You think you can do the next one on your own, or do you want me to do it with you? But you need to be doing it. Okay? Not just sitting here watching. Math is not a spectator sport. You guys watch the football game, you're not going to go out and play with the Giants, are you? You would get troubled. Football? Yeah, that's not hard to believe, though. It's the Gophers. But you wouldn't want to be playing for the Giants. You better get out there and practice. You don't just, oh, I'll just go watch these guys and I'll be able to play the game. It doesn't work that way. Nothing in life works that way. So, where? Never. Never.